Hello. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the Ordotsar podcast. I am Ordotsar. Last episode, we did our group stage. I don't remember what we betted, but anyway. Here is the current... here are the matches, so I guess we'll just go through each one, top to bottom. We're only going to go over round 32. I might sometimes comment on the potential round of 16 games, but, yeah. Right, so Germany versus Paraguay. Germany somehow lost to their final game, if I remember correctly. I forget what group they're in, but they've looked alright. Paraguay have looked pretty shit, because they got absolutely spanked by, what's it called? By, the Yanks. So, I think Germany are going to win. I'm not going to predict any scores or anything, but... France versus Sweden. Now, France are heavy favourites, and Sweden, I don't know. Sweden, to be fair, shouldn't even be here, but, you know, shouldn't be here, miracle run. It's hypothetical anyway. It hypothetically could happen, but I'll go with I think France are going to win. I want Sweden to win just because I hate the French, but I want Sweden to win, but I think it's going to be France. South Africa versus Canada. I believe they're playing later. They're literally playing in a few hours, right? South Africa versus Canada. I mean, Canada haven't looked too bad, and South Africa have looked pretty shit, if we're being honest. So, Canada, but I mean, let's be honest. They're losing to whoever wins this game, which we move on to very nicely. Which is, I think the Netherlands will win. I think the Netherlands are going to make a decent-ish run. Like, to be fair, I think they can probably... I mean, this is thinking towards the quarters and even semis, but I think they can probably beat Germany or France. If they have a good game, you know, it depends on whatever, but yeah. Portugal versus Croatia is a fucking banger, and we love to see it. Okay, this is like, this part of the bracket is like bracket of death, but, hey, Portugal versus Croatia. Yeah, no, that's actually a tough one. So, I've seen the weird conspiracy thing that says Portugal are gonna win the entire thing, and Croatia did get absolutely by, England. I don't know, I don't have the words. Like, they got... I don't actually have the words. Like, 4-2 is a disgrace. No, if you're Croatia, you should not be losing to England 4-2. Even if we have successfully moved beyond thingy, but yeah, that's a different... So, I think that loss... Now, to be fair, they did win the next 2 games to get second place. So, Portugal... I don't know. Portugal kind of have a golden generation and have looked pretty fucking good. I mean, they also had a group of life, so, I mean... But, Portugal are probably going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it requires extra time or even penalties. But I probably will be rooting for Croatia. Spain versus Austria. Okay, I like Austria, but this is Spain's win. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Spain are winning that. But hey, at least whoever wins the next game has a pretty easy draw against the winner of these 4, but still. Anyway, right, United States versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. I saw some questionable individuals on Instagram claiming that the United States could make a miracle run. But let's just grant, hypothetically, I know we said we'd focus on thingy, but let's just grant, for the sake of argument, that you beat Bosnia, which I don't think's going to happen, by the way. Spoiler alert. But yeah, you're going to lose to Belgium, and then even if you somehow beat Belgium, you are getting absolutely cooked. You are getting munched up by whichever one of these 3 teams, or I guess 4 teams, you end up facing here. the 10th of July. And, like, even if you somehow win that, I'm sorry, even if you somehow fluke that result, you're gonna get absolutely by either Germany, France, or fucking the Netherlands. Like, if you're the United States, even if we grant, even if we grant every reason, I don't even want to say reasonable, because I'm predicting Bosnia to win, but yeah, you're not getting beyond the round of 16. But I mean, I also do appreciate the delusions because I'm obviously English. Right. Belgium versus Senegal. Speaking of which, yeah, I mean, Senegal have some good players, but I think Belgium win. But yeah, whoever wins this probably has basically a free quarterfinals. Like, no offense to Bosnia or the United States, but I don't think either of you are actually beating any of these two teams. So, hey, I'm gonna go with Belgium. But, yeah, that could be one of the closer ones. Man, some of these matchups are, like, going back, some of these matchups are absolutely cinema, but anyway. Brazil versus Japan, I mean, Brazil have looked shaky, and Japan are always, like, in that dark horse territory. Japan didn't think, wait, that isn't actually what I wanted. They struggled. Okay, they were able to. Okay, that's actually not too bad. They got second. They were able to squeak draws. They got draws against the Netherlands, who again look pretty alright, and Sweden, and then like the other teams, they cooked cooked Tunisia. Okay. I mean, it's not like too. I mean, it depends. I mean, this is not like the Brazil of old. To be fair. This is a Brazil that drew against Morocco, but they also did look all right against Haiti, and to be fair, Scotland could have beat the Scots by like potentially more. So take that what you will. But yeah, there we go. But yeah, okay. I think having seen that Brazil have played all right, I'm gonna go with Brazil. Ivory Coast versus Norway. I mean, this isn't the Ivory Coast golden generation that had like Drogba and that, so I think Norway win just because I think Haaland will just carry them. I think Haaland's going to carry them to, at the very least, the round of 16. Right, Mexico versus Ecuador. Ecuador looks shit. I'm going to be honest. Ecuador looks shit in their group, and to be fair, it was only and they also, to give them credit, only narrowly, but to give them credit, they only narrowly lost to Ivory Coast. So, but still, yeah, they played awful. I think it's gonna be Mexico. I mean, okay, England on July the 1st. When is that? England versus Congo. I mean, yeah, that's just free love for England. As a matter of fact, if you're English and want to make a decent run, at the very least to the quarters, I mean, that's pretty easy. But obviously, in order to make it to the semis, you probably have to beat Brazil, and then on the other side of the brackets, if you want to make it to the final, which is this, on the 19th of July, you'd probably have to beat either Argentina or Switzerland. Anyway, speaking of which, Argentina, listen, Cape Verde did well to get out of the groups. Let's give them a round of applause, but the refs are not going to allow you to win, and I don't think you have I mean, to be fair, even if the refs don't help Argentina, they are going to make. I think Argentina will still beat you, and also Argentina don't really need the refs to beat you because you are, well, for lack of a better term, freelow. You are literally freelow. So, yeah, Argentina going to the round of 32. I mean, 16, whatever. Australia versus Egypt. Honestly, that actually could be pretty interesting. To be fair, that actually sounds like a game. I'm not gonna lie, that actually sounds like a good game. Yeah, no, that actually, to be fair, I think they're evenly matched. Maybe I'm biased because I'm English, but I might maybe favour Australia, but at the same time, Egypt. I mean, either way, whoever wins this is probably losing to Argentina anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, but I mean, I guess, how did Egypt do? How did Egypt do in their group? There's a group cluster. They got second, only missing out on Belgium by goal difference. Okay, so... But they also were... Also, New Zealand got absolutely dicked. What the hell? I mean, to be fair, Belgium aren't even that good, but still. Okay, and Australia were in the Americans group, right? So we have to just scroll up a bit. So they beat Turkey 2-0, who I guess were this year's team to underperform. They lost in questionable fashion to the United States. There were some very questionable decisions, and then they drew against Paraguay. Okay, I mean, to be fair, I don't think the ref has any reason to help Egypt out, but Egypt is still probably the strongest side, so I guess Egypt. Switzerland are going to beat Algeria. I don't even need to say anything. Switzerland actually have a decent lineup, if I do say so myself. And then Colombia versus Ghana. That's a tough one. Both teams are actually semi-decent. And I'd probably also say that Colombia probably should have played. Wait. Colombia finished top. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Colombia Golden Generation? I mean, let's be honest, I was EP time. Well, yeah, I was effectively EP times when this game was, yeah. So, but, okay, interesting. You know what? Potential underdog. I don't know. I think they could. You know what? If they were able to to draw against Ghana and get a better result than Portugal, who, to be fair, probably should be on this side of the bracket, which would have made that interesting because it then would have been what, Portugal versus Switzerland. That's a banger. Portugal or Switzerland versus Argentina. That's a banger. And then the winner probably plays what, either Brazil, Norway, or England. That could have been a banger of a bracket. But at the same time, I don't mind it, because, I mean, and to be fair, there's also some quality matchups in this side of the bracket, like Germany versus France. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. Is going to be a banger. Honestly, both brackets have enough game. Yeah. Honestly, to be fair, most of these games I think could go either way. Like, Paraguay probably have found their footing and could maybe upset Germany, but I mean, I also think even if that does happen, they're not going to beat France. And obviously, I don't want to think of our scenario in which Sweden beats France, even though I want Sweden to win. Anyway, yeah, leave your comments down below. I've been Ordotsar. Peace.